What if we told you that a bold handshake between Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader Ibrahim Traoré and the Turkish government could change the entire future of Africa? Yes, not just Burkina Faso, not just West Africa, the entire African continent. Because in a deal that's already sending shockwaves through global media and Western intelligence circles, Ibrahim Traoré has just signed a multi-billion-dollar agreement with Turkey that could shake the foundation of foreign control in Africa and ignite an industrial, agricultural, and military revolution from the Sahel to the Sahara. Factories, arms production, housing, textiles, solar energy. All built, powered, and manufactured with Turkish technology right here in Africa. This is not fiction, this is not speculation. This is Africa Vibe News, and in today's deep dive, we unpack what this deal really means, what Turkey stands to gain, and why Ibrahim Traoré is becoming one of the most fearless African leaders of the 21st century. So stay with us, because what you're about to hear is history in the making. Before we explore the groundbreaking deal between Burkina Faso and Turkey, let's talk about the man behind the vision, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. In the Western media, Traoré is often portrayed as a military hardliner or a radical. But in the streets of Ouagadougou, in the villages of the Sahel, and across much of Africa, he's seen as a hero, a young revolutionary fighting for dignity, sovereignty, and economic independence. At just 34 years old, Traoré is the youngest head of state in Africa. But don't let his age fool you, his vision is one of the most strategic and unapologetically African seen in decades. From the moment he seized power in 2022, his priorities were crystal clear: end Burkina Faso's reliance on France and other former colonial powers, put Burkinab resources back into Burkinab hands, revive local industries and agriculture, forge new international alliances based on mutual respect. He rejected the model of aid dependency. Instead, he embraced a Pan-African vision that seeks partnerships, not patronage. And in Turkey, he found an ally that is equally bold and ready to work outside the influence of Western powers. The signed agreement between Burkina Faso and Turkey is not a single project. It is a strategic package that spans 6 key sectors, each one designed to radically change how the country operates. Let's break it down. Burkina Faso will now host a joint military production facility. The deal includes a drone assembly plant modeled after Turkey's world-renowned Bayraktar TB2 drones, a light armored vehicle factory where Burkinab engineers will be trained to build and maintain advanced defense equipment, a Turkish military advisory mission, which will provide training to local forces in counter-terrorism and strategic defense. This move is not just about weapons, it's about sovereignty. For years, Burkina Faso relied on foreign troops. Now, it's building the capacity to defend itself. Burkina Faso grows cotton, lots of it. But most of it was exported raw, that ends now. 3 major textile plants will be built in Koudougou, Bobo-Dioulasso, and Ouagadougou. These factories will convert raw cotton into high-quality textiles, boosting exports and creating over 10,000 jobs. Young Burkinab will be trained in textile design, industrial sewing, and export logistics. This not only adds value to local crops, it places Burkina Faso on the map as a textile exporter. Housing has long been a crisis in Burkina Faso. The deal brings in Toki, Turkey's government-backed construction firm. 30,000 affordable housing units will be built over 5 years. Local cement, sand, and labor will be used, meaning 60% of the investment stays within Burkina Faso. A job boom in construction is already being felt in the capital. These homes won't be luxury apartments, they'll be solid, accessible, and dignified homes for working-class families. Turkey is supplying tractors, plows, seeders, and irrigation systems. Training centers for farmers in Devigu and Fotnagoma. Partnerships to help farmers sell surplus to both domestic and regional markets. Within 2 years, Burkina Faso's grain output is projected to triple, making food security a reality. 5 solar energy projects. Burkina Faso suffers from energy shortages and blackouts. The deal includes the creation of the largest solar farm in West Africa, producing over 300 megawatts of power. Solar grids to electrify rural villages, reducing reliance on expensive fuel imports. Thousands of green energy jobs for engineers, technicians, and electricians. This isn't just power, it's empowerment. Turkey's TCDD State Railways has signed an MoU to extend rail lines from Ouagadougou to Ghanaian ports, opening trade routes to the sea. Long-term vision includes links to Mali and Niger, creating a pan-Sahel economic corridor. This project is vital. For a landlocked country like Burkina Faso, access to ports equals access to global trade. You may wonder, why not partner with traditional powers like France, the US, or China? Traoré's answer is simple: we are not looking for masters. We are looking for partners. Turkey's foreign policy in Africa is non-colonial, non-intrusive, and business-driven. Under President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey has expanded its African footprint through diplomacy, business, and education, not domination. Here's why Turkey fits Traoré's strategy. Turkey has 43 embassies in Africa, second only to China. Turkish Airlines flies to 60-plus African cities, making it a key player in connecting the continent. Turkey has built over 200 schools and hospitals in African countries, including Somalia, Sudan, and Senegal. Turkish contractors are already building roads and airports in places like Ethiopia and Nigeria. This is a country that understands how to build partnerships, not extract resources. And for Turkey, it gains access to untapped markets and natural resources. Strategic influence in a region increasingly breaking away from Western dominance. A role in shaping the next wave of African industrialization. The global reaction has been swift and tense. Western media outlets have described the Turkey-Burkina Faso deal as a growing threat to European influence in the Sahel, a concerning military realignment in West Africa, an authoritarian tilt in African politics. But behind the headlines, there's genuine panic. Afrikvide News has learned from regional sources that 3 Western embassies have dispatched special envoys to neighboring countries to monitor the Turkey situation. France has quietly increased surveillance flights over Burkina Faso. US diplomats have reportedly contacted ICAO's leaders to raise concerns about non-traditional alliances. Turkey, however, is unfazed. In a bold statement, Turkish Defense Minister Yasar Gula said, "Africa is rising. And Turkey will rise with it, in friendship, in trade, and in shared strength, and the Burkina people, they're standing firmly behind Traoré." In a massive rally in Ouagadougou, over 50,000 people marched in support of the deal, holding banners that read, "Turkey is a friend, France is a memory." This deal is not just about Burkina Faso, it's about a new era for Africa. The AES bloc, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, has emerged as Africa's most daring political alliance. All 3 countries have expelled French troops, nationalized key industries, cut off ties with the ICAOs, now signed independent deals with new partners like Turkey, Iran, and Russia. This Turkey deal is seen as the first of many. Reports suggest Guinea is negotiating with Turkish textile investors. Senegal is eyeing solar partnerships. Chad has sent delegates to Turkey to discuss military training. It's a domino effect. Once one country breaks free, others follow. The deal isn't just headlines, it's changing lives. Let's hear from ordinary citizens. "I now work in a textile factory thanks to this deal. Before, I had no job. Today, I can feed my family." Fatimata, 28. Bobo Diolaso. They trained us on how to operate Turkish agricultural machines. I never thought I'd be part of a modern farm. Ishuf, 22. Farmer from Yoko. This deal is more than just money. It's dignity. It's proof that Africa can rise if given a chance. Rokia, 24. University student. From the dusty farms of the Sahel to the factories in Ouagadougou, the atmosphere is shifting from despair to determination. At Afrikvide News, we believe this is more than just a contract. It's a blueprint for a new Africa, one that says nitrogen monoxide to colonial leftovers, and yes to equal partnerships built on productivity, dignity, and power. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is showing the continent what is possible when leaders put the people first and ignore the old playbook written in foreign capitals. And with Turkey stepping in as a reliable and respectful partner, Africa is no longer waiting to be saved. It's saving itself. So what do you think? Will other African nations follow Traoré's lead? Will this deal truly change Africa forever? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe in the real rise of Africa, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Afrique Vibe News. Until next time, stay proud, stay bold, and stay Afrique Vibe.